What's up, everyone? Welcome back to EPIC47 Group Stage. It's a quick sweep for the last game coming into this, but we have hopefully a pretty good game, although there are some people who may guess it might be a little more one-sided than we think. Marine Region against REY Esports. I think the first game that's a little bit of a higher profile going into this, and it could be quite close. I'm, once again, Shiba, and that's not Mads Bear. That's Puffo Bob.
That's not Mads Bear. No,
This is Puffo Bob.
Changed. Yes. Hello. I'm really excited to be here. It's going to be the first EPIC and I think starting off with such a banger of a match, at least for me personally, is going to be quite nice. But Shiba, you casted one match already, and could you just fill me in on how exciting that was?
Not the most exciting. It was kind of one-sided. It was a bit of a destructive stomp. But there are things further to look forward to. I mean, we are trying to give as much teams as representation as possible, and that's part of the joys about doing group stages, that we don't really have to take it too seriously. It's all for fun and games. It's the bracket stage where things get real serious. But now with Marine Region and REY Esports coming in now, these two teams actually do have something to play for, and these guys actually have a chance to make it through into groups, through groups into bracket stage. With Marine Region as well being particularly noteworthy, having 3 members of their core remaining and having 2 new members come in of the former Coalesce region who were of the Aconite core, including Bubs and Miso.
That's going to be exciting. Again, Coalesce have set themselves up for a really nice run inside Valorant's Tier 3 scene. They are recognized alongside other teams, you know, Uniway, Boars. They are kind of that roster that are making it in the scene. So it's going to be exciting to see what these 2 players can pull off together alongside with 3 that they don't have the experience with. But I think it's going to be a fun matchup. And then you go over towards the side of REY Esports, which they have been inactive for quite a while.
Yeah.
We haven't seen a lot of them for basically almost a year. I think it has been a couple of months now, but you know, they're coming in with a new roster to shine bright.
It's been a while, almost like nothing happened for REY Esports, and now with their new team coming in, it's going to be hopefully a good time for them, depending on the rosters going through. And so I'm hoping we get into our vetoes and see our new maps coming in I was hoping that we wouldn't see Bind again, and we're seeing Bind again, which is fantastic. I love Bind!
We love Bind!
I love Bind! This is the 3rd Bind game in a row, ladies and gentlemen. So Bind seemingly to be the LAN favorite coming into this at the moment. I think I like to note here for Marine Region, they do have Bubs in as their new IGL, and oftentimes Bubs like to run double controller. They were big fans of Harbor pre-rework, and so the question for me is, are they going to be running that again, especially with Miso being very versatile? He's a very flexible player. He likes playing either the controller, the secondary controller. He's also occasionally played that second initiator with the flash initiator. For Bind, we could see something merge around where we see that double controller coming in again. More often than not, it's probably going to be something along the lines of Miso Clove and Bubs on that Viper, unless they've switched up the roles. We'll have to wait and see. The rest of Marine Region, still really solid roster coming into it, right? I think this team are definitely favored to make it out of this group, maybe in top 6.
Possibly. I guess we're going to have to see it. But for now, the match is going to be certainly beginning. I think it's time to see what the agents are going to be going into it. With Bind, I'm sad to say I don't think we're going to be seeing Harbor.
Sadly not.
So. Unless they're going to be trying some shenanigans. Unless they're going to be giving it a shot.
Unless REY are not that good, we'll have to wait and see. But Marine Region have to see. We'll have to go into Inselect to see those agents come in with Bind. We kind of know the traditional compositions that are going to be going into this, right? A lot of Rays, a lot of Viper, a lot of Brimstone are really common on this. Contrary to what we may believe, though, last time we saw 2 teams play Bind, there was no Brim, which is crazy to think about. No Brim. It was Viper Clove and Solo Omen. You can guess which team didn't make it out. But you've got Marine Region and REY now together. This time, they're running the real stuff here. Solo Brim on the side of REY with a really aggressive, nearly triple duelist setup here from REY with the Yoru Wele and the Chamber coming in from Winch.
Yeah, honestly, even more recentish, you know, people have been really leaning away from the Sentinels because mostly, I mean, the Initiator can do their job. Anyone can do their job. You pop a double controller and you don't really need that isolation of denying control. However, though, we have REY Esports locked in. Again, double duelist, and that's going to be about it.
With Solo Chamber, I mean, Chamber's effectively like a duelist with a trip. You know, it doesn't really feel like a Sentinel, despite being objectively so in the game. A Sentinel, much more aggressive for holding those long angles, and that trip is going to be that one layer of security for anti-flank.
100%. For the side of Marine region, double controller, double duelist. We're going to have no Sentinel there. It's kind of, again, leaning in towards how the meta has been shifting in Valorant, but we're going to have to see how kind of this fares between the two. Again, with the Chamber especially on long, I'm imagining that's where we're going to see him quite a lot. Might be exciting.
Yeah, even with that though, I like the contrary differences with these two compositions. You've got the double controller with the Astra coming in from Marine region, which is relatively uncommon, although definitely a viable agent, definitely good for those long post plants. One thing that I'm noticing here, which is quite interesting, are a lot of these role changes that we're seeing. You've got MSay, who sticks with their signature controller on that Astra, really, really strong Astra player last Epic as well, and so with Bubs and Miso coming in, Miso is going to be switching to that REY's duelist role, which we have seen him do a little bit, but more often than not, we saw him as that secondary controller or that filling initiator player, that strong hyperflex for Coalesce when they were on that roster. Now this time, playing one of those entry spearhead duelists, and Mars swapping that role and going off the duelist, contrary to last time REY region played, and now going on to that Fade. So there is a good little bit of role switching coming in here from Marine region, and so that raises a question on whether or not some of these players can actually adapt to that. MSay and Bubs are very used to what they do. Zek, I'm not as familiar with, but I do believe he is still playing what he is mostly comfortable on. Mars and Miso are the big role swaps here that I'm excited to watch. I'm curious as well if Bubs is going to be IGLing either, but considering he was IGL for last time, we'll have to wait and see. For REY Esports, you've got Jacob, Winch, Kakuzera, Zowie, and Pants. Zowie being formerly of the Baltic Brits roster, who just made it out of groups last Epic, and then Winch being part of, I believe, Delta X Esports, who also are a team in this event currently, who do look pretty promising.
100%. I mean, there's a lot of teams that are kind of just swapping around when we go around Epic, but when you're talking about the roster changes and how players are adapting to different roles, it is the early stage of Epic still. So I think they do have the time. Again, it's not an elimination match. They can definitely see what works out for them best. And especially because it's from the side of Marine region, they do have a lot of these players that have the experience. They have the time to back it up. And honestly, I'm all for it. I'm all for seeing how explosive Miso can get. I'm all for seeing what Bubs is going to be doing on that Viper, which, again, Viper is so oppressive on this map. Besides being probably one of the best controllers, debatable between the Omen, but in general, probably the best controller, no doubt. You know, I think Viper here is going to be probably the one you want to look out for. Viper's pit on A, you have nothing to do about it. Sim goes for B.
And we're getting a bit of an update coming in from production, but a bit of a mic issue from one of the players. So we're going for a pause, which is why you see that timer being slowed down, but still want to continue talking about it for a moment. The Viper on this bind is really, really powerful and really, really well known. It's great for taking away space, great for being a good lurk presence, great for slowing down tempo and adding loads of pressure to the opponents where they have to be clearing out these walls, right? And for the opposite side, for REY, having that solo brim definitely indicates a bit of a very fast feast or famine kind of approach for this team, and it can backfire really well or can go to disastrous, depends on how Marine region will be prepared for it. I think MSay on this Astra is a really good counterpart to this, and it's going to be really good for those longer post plants where if you go onto the site and you get that plant down, you're not going to be too worried about the post because you will be playing from long and much safer angles where the Feast of Famine style of REY Esports, where they go in for the retake, won't be as potent for them.
100%. It's also interesting to see the Marine region, they don't really have any viable flashes. Yes, you have your initiator, the Prowler can maybe blind, but most of the time it doesn't hit. And it's that counterfeit between Marine and REY when it comes down to their initiators. You have a bit more of a supportive initiator from the side of REY that heals, flashes, allows entry. And then Marine region, someone that shuts down. Mars on that Fade is going to be extremely useful when you're entering, especially now that they're on their defense. I'm going to be looking forward towards their attack, mostly from the initiator side. But as for now, again, it's also going to be kind of who's better on this map as a controller. You have the Brimstone, you have the Viper. Both are fantastic, but it's dependent on what inside that team backs that up.
Yeah, I mean, adding that Astra for like Marine region is really interesting, and I think as well, the fact that they don't have flashes themselves, they can't go out and flash themselves at all, makes for a bit of a risky extra bit, and I think that's why Zek on the Waylay is around, having that Waylay be almost a secondary drone, which I know is really common as almost an approach for Waylay that was seen as initially great, but kind of backfiring a little bit. Still important here to run as we are getting our map finally going here on Bind. I think one of the first high-profile games we're getting into this for the group stage. BO1 once again on Bind here as REY are on the attack. And you have to mention here, although they're running a lot of controller compositions for Marine Region, REY do have both Sky and Yoro that they can use to flash through that and take so much aggressive space, and they've already done so quickly on this B site.
Yeah, Marine Region just had to allow it. Smokes are down, the plant shouldn't be... It should be just about as inevitable as it gets, and now we're in the post plant. It took a couple of seconds. We also saw that the Waylay was lovely on the shotty. Didn't really find anything. Again, close range is going to be your best friend. And the meanwhile, Winch going for a bit of a flank here as the defenders are looking to break back into their own site. No shots connecting. The Headhunter's trying to find it, but on site it is Calamity here. Quickly found out Marine Region are going to pop one after another. Bubs is the last one standing, but you can only do so much as a lone one standing. Time ticking against you. You're going to have to go for the fake and hope they challenge you one by one. Just playing with their food, and Kagzero for the last shot. Just
good jiggle peeks and discipline there from REY. Getting quick on the attack and claiming so much space early on to add a lot of pressure for Marine Region to act, right? And unfortunately, one by one, as they took those fights, they didn't really have enough utility to play around that. On the pistol round, that's going to be really hard to run, right? If you don't make the right read where the Viper will be, you're going to be able to play against it, and obviously you're not going to be having on A more often than not. You're going to be throwing it through the TP to play pressure for showers, but when you have an all-full blitz with 5 members up through A main, what really much can you do, especially with those Brimstones eliminating so many sightlines?
There's not going to be much happening here towards this A side either. I mean, we have, again, the full charge from REY Esports, all 5 players, 4 players looking to just rush it on down. Yes, the Chamber holding the back lines, but the rest of the Marine Region are already transporting themselves over towards to try and defend it. Zek there with an amazing shot onto Kagzera. Flash in return, but it finds nothing. Zowi's looking to chase him on it, but you have a judge on Pants, and it's going to claim its mark. One down for REY, bit of an eye for eye. Second one for Pants. Can he get the third? He's looking to chase up for it, but now he's going to have to keep himself limited. Judge in there, he misses! Oh no! All the shots around him go missed, and now it's left Mars on a classic at a dream, but 3v1, and I think it's just about to be the same case as it was earlier.
Yeah, a lot going wrong here for Marine Region. An attempt here to counteract the push, but REY with this crazy Waylay on the judge will make so much good work out of it. And that's going to be the second round for REY in pretty convincing fashion on top of that. I think you had an attempt from REY to think that they might go for a bit more of an aggressive split to match that tempo that REY Esports have liked to set so far. However, I mean, again, with REY, they're really good with Pants taking a lot of aggressive space. Even if Zek got that opening pick, the throw of that refract coming in to slow down the return here from Zek was going to be perfect for Pants to come in and strike and claim so much space. And by some miracle, surviving while being double swarmed from both CT and Heaven. I still don't know which shots can be whiffed from that side, but regardless of it, whiffs away for a good reason! Oh my goodness, Pants, come on! You're dunking on him!
There's one already gone. Marine Region, a player down. It's going to be a raise of all as well, so trying to go for that retake in case you're once more shot outside your own site might be a bit more difficult, but I like the fact that REY have been... They've been showing a construct. They've been showing a blueprint, right? You see, the side of Marine Region, they all go for the same guns. They all go for the same strategy, just a 3-2 split between sites. While REY, they have a full dedicated strategy. Send out the Waylay, get a kill, and if it works, you can continue with the rest of the team following behind. If not, you can give it a bit of time right now. Like you said, REY has been playing really aggressive, and for them to slowly tone it down all of a sudden can get a bit confusing for Marine.
And I think as well what's difficult for Marine Region is that they're giving a little bit too much respect to this shotgun potential from this Waylay here, right? And Pants now with a Sheriff in hand instead of a Shorty, making the most of what he can do. Going to be able to pick up this Phantom, but Zek quick to bounce back here as Marine Region will grab 2, but with the spike down, it's a 3-on-2 still in favor of REY, as the plan will be confirmed. Not a lot of time with that full rotation from Bubs. Mars and Bubs together will be clearing out this site for the retake, and I think Jacob now has a chance to get 1v1, and if this goes down, it's very, very winnable here. Out comes this eye, out comes the scan, it's cleared off.
Bring them down.
A lot of pressure now slowed down. They're splitting apart. They need to try and find the 1v1. Spam attempt of Jacob. Quick on that thinking. Good enough to time out Mars. And now Bubs alone looking to potentially even concede as the time runs through.
Go Winch, going to close things out for REY Esports with their 3rd round in a row. Marine Region had themselves an opportunity to fight back. The eco was looking stronger. Now they're going to have to sadly resort onto Miso. being on that Bucky is going to be interesting, especially with how much of the shotgun we've been seeing from Pants. And on a character like REY's, it has the potential, but again, esports, the rich keep getting richer. They're going to continue doing good. They haven't been facing much casualties either. In a 3v2, they handled it pretty well. Just enough of a distraction around that A main site so that, of course, we saw the last players kind of crush down whatever remained. But for the first time, it seems like we're going to be heading towards a B push.
Where are you? Still waiting.
It's pretty quick, and I think REY have made a good read on what Marine want to do as they push up so hard, and Pants again with an attempt to go hyper aggro with this short to grab a pick, but Mars is quick enough to back away and keep his space, respecting it.
Oh.
And you've got that trick they're able to eliminate things. So a lot of spam coming through to overwhelm Mars, and slowly over time, REY are really oppressing Marine Region. Marine Region run out of time already, and this Outlaw from Winch will catch the two lurkers, and so, but that said, it's just Zek with a short sheriff. I mean, there is no way this can happen.
No, 1v5. He does spot Winch, though. Speaking out, but Winch expected him, it seems like. Got the headshot needed, and third kill there for him. REY Sport, 4th round in a row. And again, really looking solid, but for now, I just wonder what Marine Region going to do to break through.
I mean, this round needs to be won for Marine. They're really letting this slip out from their fingers. I think, granted, you have to expect this to be a bit of an attacker-sided composition, regardless. Fine being pretty strong on the attack side for both of these rosters. For REY Esports, for that really hard, aggressive play that they can do really crazy tempo making. But for the opposite side of Marine Region, it's going to be really good for just oppressing space. They're going to have so much room to play around that and oppress the sight lines of REY. But regardless of that, I mean, on this defense, they need to make something work because REY have just been able to get onto these sites so quickly, and Bubs being spotted there almost opened up a bit of a risk there, but thankfully it didn't get counteracted. No spam, no follow-up.
Esports again. The tale as old as time. Leave the chamber in the background, watch out for flanks, which earlier in the previous round, Marine Region set themselves up for a retake. 3 players going in the back lines, and they all got shut down. Not wanting to allow that again, REY Esports split themselves apart, stretched out thin throughout the map.
Oh, there's
we
so
also
much.
see the Outlaw here, but not even the Outlaw, my bad. It's going to be a tour de force by Winch, holding down Showers. Has a player in a corner. Zek here could swing and potentially find himself dead, but I guess sticking patient might be the go-to for Marine Region.
I'm not sure if Zek peeking this would be a good idea at all. He's got this ultimate in his hands with the divergent paths, and Winch almost has a vision here.
I've got your trail.
Or potentially there's angle coming out, and Miso, despite good timing, will backfire on the double swing. Zek too slow on this trade, and so these kills have been served on a silver platter here for Winch, as he will get his third. This tour de force has become a coup de grace, and he's made this misery for Marine Region.
There we go, plant is down. 2 more players, Marine Region. Can they carry it all by themselves? Can they shoulder this burden? Might be a bit too large to do so, but REY Esports right now as healthy as ever. Needed only 1 ultimate and a single player, Winch, to do most of the job. Majority of the team from Marine Region have been wiped, and now he's seeking out for the final 2. Picks up that Vandal. So trying to gun him down. One's behind him though, and Bubs is going to shut down the Tyrant, but it's 1 again. REY Esports still have 4 more to carry over. The time is ticking against them, and this is another round here that Marine Region just won't be able to get. They do save 2 guns, however, for the following round, but I doubt that's something they can fully anchor off of.
This is rough here for Marine Region. Fortunately, not able to back this up, and REY, these individuals respectively, have been doing really well. They've been making this work. I mean, granted, it's a few errors here from Marine Region. These individual trades I'm seeing are really not the idea that we're thinking about, and the timeout's going to be coming in to get them to lock the hell in. You know, we've got 2 members here, from what I know, from Marine Region with not a single kill up on the board. This is definitely an individual struggle that we're seeing, and I think with REY as well, they're able to just willingly, confidently take these fights and abuse those advantages without a lot of pressure being responded here from Marine Region. I mean, you had that initial cross there from both Miso and Zek, but the whole point of Zek being there when Miso is on that angle is that because you can't do a direct cross, you need to swing instantly off of contact. And Zek was too slow. Simply
was no reaction.
Far too slow, barely any reaction, essentially just slow walked into Winch's crossfire. That's not what you need to do when you're doing a crossfire like that on Showers. It needs to be quicker, it needs to be snappier. even if there's a chance you'll get traded by somebody behind them, you need to take that risk. Because if you're going to swing slowly, that's even worse. You're asking to get picked then.
Yeah, you should probably do one of the two, right? You either go for the correct trade,
or you just leave.
Or you just leave. You do not challenge that. Once you've given that tour de force some time to get its mind back into aiming towards a different angle, you're going to swing into certain death. And that's exactly what we saw again. Then it happened again, and again, and again, until Winch had 3 kills in the entirety of the round, one with his own bare hands. And we can currently take a look at the score. REY Esports 5-0. I'll be honest, I didn't expect this. Marine Region, they have players to back this up. It just doesn't seem like they've locked in yet.
Yeah, I mean, this Marine Region roster have new members who are former champions of this event, being signed by an incredibly strong organization, and then coming up to join this team for this event. It's a really desperate plea for victory here because they can't go 6-0 down. Surely going into this again, it's a great pincer play here from Jacob. And they've just given Marine Region so much space here. They're not able to play around it too much. Granted, inferior weaponry in this half, but now Miso's looking to apply some pressure. Out comes the divergent paths, and now they just have to leave. And Bubs is... Oh, this is savage. This is savagery. They've thrown out... Oh!
No, what?
Stop doing this to them, man! That is evil! This guy is 12-1, 11-1. It's disgusting from this guy. And he was one of the star players for Delta X when playing last Epic, and he's making this pay off massively for REY.
That's ruined their day.
This guy better be getting his money's worth, because this performance is crazy.
I mean, Winch is off the charts. He's also picking up an op right now, which I imagine is going to be looking even better going into this round. But the fact that they set up towards that B so nicely, it was just a distraction. There was a lot of sound. There was that dimensional drift, which again, Marine Region look to respond in full aggression. They started rotating. All their entire force, all they had, their 5 players, looked to challenge that. The next thing they realize, REY Esports have already rotated towards B, overtaken the site. Plant is down. You have Winch popping off, playing this game like it's a fiddle. And 6-0. All of a sudden, a quarter is won.
Not sure how a matchup like this could be so obscenely one-sided so far. Pants and Zach again. I mean, this is insane here. Zach is going to just sit there and just accept his fate. He will get one, so that's one positive coming out of this, but it's a lot of space given away, and MSay needs to make this work. He was a demon last event, but Kakuzera clearly doesn't believe in that shenanigans. He'll get his pick with the shorty and pants onto Bubs as well. It's a huge disaster. Bubs and Miso need to make something work here. Out comes the showstopper. It's just Kakuzera. These 2 picks have been huge. The orbital strike will flush out the split as Mars will go down too. It's just Kakuzera and Miso. Surely this 1v2 can't backfire again. This can't happen. Miso! Oh, he just barely gets it. Finally, a sigh of relief for Marine Region. They'll get their first round on the board.
That was way too close. I mean, the fact that it came down to a 2v1, Miso thankfully carried it. Got that 2K.
Yeah.
Thank God. Someone needed to do it in Marine Region. It was Miso to step up. Undoubtedly so. I think, respectively, again, Coalesce player has the experience. It was needed. Hopefully, this is also a good stepping point for Marine Region to get into the swing of things like REY have for 6 rounds. Why can't Marine Region? I'm hoping this is the moment they needed. They've been also working off of a bonus, so the buy isn't going to be bad at all. And we see MSay on that judge, which I'm imagining is also going to be doing its wonders. However, that was a real good round, but Orbital Cannon, or Orbital Strike from the Brimstone, a bit too early. Could have still stalled out, and that showstopper missing was stressful for the Rays, but in the end, those shots hit, and that's all that matters.
Yeah, and I think that Orbital Strike was really good at not only splitting up the pressure, but also denying a potential instant tap, right?
True.
He was not, Kakuzera was not in a position to play around that, and I think that made it really pay off for him. But look like Kakuzera, talking about before, he might be the victim of a slaughter, but not this time. That operator just barely trimming off his satchel on the side there. Mans is looking to get another one, but Jacob together will get one. Mars on the board for the first time now in this map. Kakuzera, though, will even out the numbers for REY as it's 3-on-4 for Marine Region. Zach is desperate to make this work. He's retreated all the way back with his refract, and so Spike planted. They're waiting for this right moment.
They need to give it their all. A bare minimum of 1 round within an entire half just simply will not suffice. Bubs walking through the barren wasteland of a smoke now, completely left stranded. From behind him, Zek is going to dash on it, but Jacob cleans them both sweetly. We have a 7-1. Nice little Brazil going into this matchup. And again, Ray, even though after losing a 1, did you just get that?
I did. I did. Thank God we're not in Germany, because you would have been slaughtered. Anyway, it's a nice Brazil for Ray. I mean, right at this point, they're looking to batter Marine Region so hard to send them to Brazil to see what it's like to play against the best here. Winch is 13-3. This is a revolting performance from this Chamber so far. And we know Chamber's meant to be enabled as that third duelist, essentially, right? On Bind as well, it's so prevalent to be able to play safely on the Chamber. But Winch isn't playing safe, and he's still winning.
It's incredible what Winch has pulled off in this entire match. Although, for Marine Region, there's going to be another one of those do or die rounds. We have 3 ultimates, which have been stacking up. The Cosmic Divide, of course, we have the Nightfall, and then the Viper's Pit, which I think, with how explosive Ray have been, I think would be a great counteract. And in the meanwhile, we do have a bit of a tech pause incoming since one of the players crashed, so we're going to look to get back on that as soon as we can. But again, Ray, you take a look at the prior round. Again, they just all pushed long, 2 shorties in hands, wiped everything that was in front of them, and it's as simple as that.
Yeah, it's a crazy attempt here from Marine Region, but there's not really much else you can do, and Ray have just been able to pull all the stops individually, being able to get those picks out, being able to get those kills. And I think when we are seeing what Marine Region are struggling from, it's a bit difficult to really quantify, right? Because they're not able to win those 1v1s. They're not even able to claim a lot of space. They're seemingly respecting this aggression a little too much here from Marine Region. And that's something that's really worrying, right? Especially when you need to play this composition to be oppressive on that space. You have so much utility that you can use on the fly to quickly slow things down. And they just haven't been able to do that yet. And that's really been painful here for Marine Region. They haven't been able to synergize and work together. They haven't even been able to get that many kills. Miso's finally gotten on the board for the first time. Mars has only just gotten his first kill last round. Things are really difficult here for Marine Region. And I'd like to think on a different day with different form, with different synergies, this would have been a very different matchup. This could have been a lot closer. But Ray have just been doing marvelous work in terms of both taking those fights and willingly disrespecting the space Marine Region are trying to claim.
100%. I mean, not only disrespecting, but where's the utility? There's no utility coming in from the defensive. I haven't seen anything. I mean, again, it's Ray just being so fast.
Yeah.
They just always get in the action, and even when they slow it down towards the end of the round, as we saw it from Winch earlier, everything can go from 0 to 100 just like that in an instant.
I think on top of that, Marine Region, they're not able to fully commit to heavy stacks as well. They're not going to be able to divide a lot of space. There might have to be a time where they're going to have to gamble on these picks because you're going to potentially maybe just have 1 in Bubs on that Viper, and you've got that 1 Molly and that orb that you can focus concentrating on, but you can also just run the orb on the top of A and just have 4 members on there. You have to do something like that and just hope that you can play retake afterwards. At the very least, if anything, you can have Bubs just play really far back on elbow, hold that aggressive space if they overpeak, and the rest of them just come out and claim that space up through from CT out onto the site. That's the best you can do from my perspective at the very least if you're going to be retaking on B. On A, it's really brutal to retake. You have to find a way. I mean, both sides are really brutal to retake. Maybe B more so than A, maybe, right? But I think regardless of it, there's a lot of pressure on flanking as well that you have to pay attention to. What if instead of dealing with it collectively as a retake, why don't you have someone push up far quickly on through B and just hope that Winch isn't holding? Because if it's holding, then he gets you tough luck, like unlucky. You got red, maybe you can play around it or do something else, or maybe even invest more utility into that to get more space. Maybe have the Sky, throw a deep flash out from Hookah. There are a lot of things you can do to guarantee quick info and then fight it out afterwards. It just seems like it's been really slow from Marine Region. They haven't been able to find ways to counteract this aggression from Ray, and Ray have been reading them like books. The moment they want to go into a spearhead aggressive push, they then default the round after. I mean, look at this. This is really discipline from Ray. And I'm willing to bet you right now, the moment they get that 1, they're bolting it to one site as 5.
100%. There's not going to be enough of a time, reaction, anything coming from Marine Region that is going to allow them to counter it. Again, it's just a full stack. What do you do? Mostly, I would love to see the season action. Maybe a bit of Ray's utility, just coming in with the spray shells. Anything to stop them, because all that Ray are doing is, to dumb it down, holding W. Holding W and clicking mouse 1. For now, again, there is a bit more patience compared to the previous couple of rounds. Ray are holding it back as of the moment. There isn't much that can be done besides Zach playing the aggressive up front, which does go against him. A slap on the wrist HP-wise, but does walk away alive, which is the most important.
And again, look at this. They may have not gotten a pick yet, but REY are really happy to commit to this. And Marine Region a little slow on these rotations, and Miso is in a vulnerable spot with just a classic in hand. Will get his one, however, and that is a positive to come out of this. Pants on the short into Bubs. Considering the fact that they don't have the best weaponry here, it's not too unexpected that Marine Region are going to be falling here, but at least Miso gets his one. We're praying for a little bit more, but even then, this spam from Zowie is just savage here. Now out comes the choice of Kakuzera, and it's been really strong from REY.
Yeah, this was expected. Again, REY just held better guns, they had a better economy, they had more going into this. But now we return to the same scenario. We only have 3 more rounds within this first half. This is going to be a bye from Marine Region that many would deem comfortable. You don't have Vandals across the entire board, you don't have the availability to buy yourself an op, but it is something that you can work around. Again, you're not going to be stuck down to those classics, and considering you have 3 ultimates, bottling them in for the following 3 rounds certainly won't be the way to go about it. So Marine Region, either by playing safely and backing off, trying to go for the retake, or counteracting REY's aggression with their own ultimates, they're going to need to make a move. Again, they have found a round, meaning it is possible.
In fairness to Marine Region, they are kind of doing what I was thinking about here, going for a 4-person stack on A and applying a lot more space and having that singular Bubs play around elbow and have the utility to potentially slow down this push. I think REY's goal right now is to just figure this out and then commit.
I've got your
They dropped the spike behind. We have seen that REY are really good on rotations as well. They've put off a lot of pressure towards the site and then instantly rotated before. That spots out the run's going to be an elevator, so that opportunity of rotating quickly towards B isn't going to be possible, but the spike is still on the ground. There's only 1 player from Marine Region on B, and that's exactly who REY Esports are going to look to target.
It's good info from Zek, and he knows that Winch has pushed really far up, but they haven't acted on this.
Still 4 players on
They
A.
haven't acted on this info. Marine Region are so slow on this right now.
There we go. Now they're moving.
Like, you had the confirm of Winch, and you could hear the steps, like, next to him when you TP'd through and still unable to fully suffer out. They're so slow on this. And Marine Region now, they've got Bobs alone with 4 members holding on. This is insane.
Not going to challenge it, though.
Do you have the Nightfall? Can they make this work? Handsome make first contact onto Bubs. Jacob and Emzai will fall, and it's just a slaughter here onto Marine Region. REY with a flawless, and it's just annihilation. I don't know.
I don't care.
I don't know. I feel like the info that Zek got on that should have been the penny dropping there for REY. Chamber being that pushed up through hookah should tell you they're planning on moving up a little further. If he was just going to be waiting to play at least a little bit of a luck up here, he could have at the very least been playing back further into market to go back to rotate for his team after for the post-plant A, right?
He was deep.
But he was far. He was very far up. That should have been the cue.
Marine Region, until they got the full confirmation of everything going haywire, they didn't move. Not an inch. I guess that's just reaction. Dimensional drift now. Again, REY Esports going in for that information. Shorty up close, and Pants is going to find it. Fowler sent forward, but it doesn't claim its mark now. Pants looking to contest more. Look at the aggression from the Sloan player. Missing? No, I don't think so. He's able to exchange himself. MZ finally there with a trade, but what does it matter when REY Esports are absolutely handling all of these challenges? Double digits within this first half.
They're manhandling them, man. I think first of all, Zek is just being read way too much here. Zek needs to play further back with this. He needs to probably pop this refract a little bit further back and push a little further up. And just try and either get his one or just throw utility early, or maybe even just play with Mars and use his utility to oppress with the C's and the refract and the saturation together. You can do these things. Marine Region are not willingly taking space. They're not willingly using util to aggress up these areas, and it's backfiring horribly for them.
Oh,
finally, this might be the first proactive play that we're seeing here from REY. But they're just peeking dry. Thank goodness for Zowie. I mean, thank goodness for REY. Zowie won't be able to get a pick with this operator, but they will get that one. And Marine Region are looking to get more from this. Out comes a showstopper from Miso. It's crazy. Zoe will go down. Pants tagged up a little bit, but he is slowed from the saturation, and so they're going to have to fight a little bit more. Pants will back away. Out comes out the frack. The lights be thrown out as well to gauge the space, but not quick enough to stop Miso. As there's a 5-on-2, finally.
This is the play of someone who has nothing to lose. They sent it all out, and it actually worked. REY Esports, again, they have always been
Got the spike.
aggressive on their pushes, sure, but they always scout out. They always go towards the mid part of the trenches, look towards A main, put a bit of utility, make a bit of sound, whatever the case, and then they actually act upon it. But Marine Region cut off that process in its midway point, then this is exactly the result. Again, that aggression has never been shown from Marine Region, and REY Esports have never actually gone punished. So a complete flip of tides now all of a sudden. Might be the way to go to get yourself a flawless. A second round in the first half. But Marine Region, a bit too late.
Unfortunately so. A flawless here. Doing good on this next round, but with the side switching now, it's a full reset. You can't really carry out that momentum. It's only individuals that you can do to make this work. But with this defense, what do Marine Region plan on doing here? Because taking 1v1s, I'm not sure if that's the idea you want to go into here. I think you just want to claim as much info and space as possible. And that chamber trip there being put down, that trademark is not going to be very ideal if they choose to cross through this. But I'm willing to bet Marine Region already individually are a little bit checked out here. Miso has finally gotten that good 3k. That's going to have to be what pays off here.
2 players from Marine. You see Pants, 3 going towards Showers. Meaning they're going to either set themselves up for aggression or a nice little cubby of the map for a retake. Possibly even a flank.
This could be a dangerous flank here coming in. You've got the trip on the opposite side as well. The wall not going up either. Oh, Winch with a really nice position there. It's a one and done. He will get traded out eventually from Zach, but that's still a good pick coming out. That nade taken away as well. And look at this flank coming out. The pressure being applied to Zach onto Kakuzera. Numbers being wilted down, but are they familiar where Jacob and Pants are? Out comes that Seize to slow things down, but Zowie on the opposite side. It's a pincer again coming in from REY. This is a 2-on-2 gravity well to put them off this plant. Now another tap coming in. Mars together and MZai on the opposite cross. It's not worked well. Mars higher HP, but not higher on this aim stat as Pants will exceed. It's a pistol one for REY, and this might just be the beginning of the end here.
REY played it perfectly. Honestly, there are so many outcomes when you go into Showers that can possibly happen. You set yourself up for a retake, you go for a flank, you go for an even larger flank if Marine Region decide to play B aggressively. There are so many setups that Showers allow you to do, unless if REY were to, or rather Marine were to fully push into Showers, which was very unlikely, especially in pistol rounds. But in general, they just played it well. Again, that flank came out very nicely. Winch's position was cut off. He was set up so high above where he could see above the smoke then. Still even discombobulate Marine Region further by surviving and hiding from them on the opposite side of the smoke, which again wasted a bit of time, but by the end stage, REY Esports doing as good as they always have. The pistol is going to be theirs. The buy as well following into this round. But Marine Region with a force buy to at least try and deny a match point for as long as they can.
Now comes this Outlaw from Winch again, looking to just be the bane here for Marine Region. Second bullet thrown out, that trademark as well. Rendezvous invested here. Now he's in a bit more of a vulnerable spot, having to hope that there's a bit of a wide swing coming out here from Marine Region, but no dice unfortunately. Even the spam will backfire here. Amount of damage taken out. Miso so aggro onto Pants, will take him down. Reading that strange angle. So Jacob and friends together. Here looking to make their superior economy show in dividends here. Unlike we know from the org themselves. Anyway, out comes Winch with another pick. Zach onto Jacob.
One enemy remaining.
Kakuzera to make this close, but Zach is just so low. We need to see some one-taps coming in here.
I have the
So
spike.
alone, no HP. Instant rotation towards B though. And yeah, REY Esports are going to instantly
30 seconds left.
try and cut him off, but
Don't
I don't
miss
think
me
they
too
can
much.
deny it. There's no utility to hold him back. B should be as clear as it gets, and it's all going to be down to isolated gunfights. We do see Winch going for quite the large flank, but he's going to be caught out. Zach still spotted by Zowie, and another round for REY Esports as they only need one more to win regulation.
This is crazy aggressive. I mean, I don't know how this has happened here.
Gun here.
You know, we were thinking on paper that this was a really close game.
Yeah.
If not, maybe Marine Region favored, but
Don't even start
it
that
seems like
shit,
REY
man.
have really flipped the tides here. How the turntables, I don't even know if this is a composition thing or an individual thing, because
Match point.
it felt like these individuals from Marine Region, when I saw them before, were much stronger. But we're seeing just complete domination. And not only that, like, Zach, despite being the strongest player, has been really outplayed by Pants on this Waylay. Out-red, always oppressed, and have way too much to deal with when you're trying to push up as that Waylay. By the time you use your refract, you're already caught with your pants down.
Let's
No pun
send him
intended.
packing.
Like,
Pun should have been intended.
it is crazy.
I don't know. This is, again, as you mentioned, unexpected. even then, Marine Region, they have the history of players. REY Esports, not as much, but apparently we were wrong because Winch inside this matchup is a beast. Miso returns the favor, but what does it matter when everything is crumbling around you? So now he takes out Bubs. That's going to be the Viper gone. As well, you're opening as an attacking side. Without that Waylay, it's going to be a lot more difficult to execute. Miso showing a bit of prowess going into the couple of further rounds, but again, this is going to be another situation where REY Esports hold the upper hand by one player.
Let's see how this response from Marine Region will pay off. It's do or die on this one. As the utility's thrown out, the execute's coming in. Jacob in a precarious position. This smoke might die out soon. It's only about 30-second long smoke, and soon it will fade away. Jacob's going to be able to make some quick contact with the plant coming in, and Amzai will get there. Still so low. Miso needs to make some kills work with this short, with the Stinger. And Winch and Jacob have so much space here. Finally taken away from Mars, and Miso will not be able to make this work with the Stinger. It's just Mars. Lowest on the lobby before needs to make it work, and he will with a clean flick onto Zowie through the cranium. Marine Region, they don't want to go out in a full whimper.
No, they're going to fight till the very end. And if it took one player there, again, Marine Region were constantly backed up against the wall. REY Esports, they responded a lot more commonly to this aggression. As we've seen earlier, Marine Region, when they went into the last round of the first half, they played exponentially aggressive. Now REY Esports expected it a whole bunch more. We are going to be going into a full team buy from both these teams, or a full buy from both of them, and an equal fight, which we haven't seen in quite a while since Marine Region have always been on pistols.
Now Winch with this operator.
Face your fear!
Harbinger of Dread here for this Marine Region roster. A lot of ultimates thrown out. It's a heavy investment from Marine Region. It's desperate here. Winch has been spotted. He's noted, and he still survives! Quick scoping like he's got a DSR on his arsenal here. Zek will fall again. And it's a 4-on-5 in favor of Marine Region. Still, they might be able to slow this back as Emzai. He's oppressed by utility. The cabbage is thrown out. It's a cluster of difficulty to be thrown at you. And with that, it's overwhelming Marine Region as REY. Individually, these players have been excellent. Despite Miso's attempt at heroics, it is a slaughter for REY Esports as these players have just been marvelous, man.
We're having some quick matches today. Previous one was 13-2. Now we have 13-3.
I thought we had the best matchup for this round.
I
Clearly
well.
not. I can't believe it's this dominant against them. I really didn't expect that.
I thought Marine Region were gonna do more. Again,
Me too.
looking into their background, they have the players to back it up, but I guess not.
I guess not. I mean, hey, listen, Marine Region still have a little bit of time. They've got the group stages coming in, but this is I can't tell whether or not I should be afraid for Marine Region or afraid of the other teams that REY are going to be playing
hiding
against.
their strats.
Maybe that's... Who knows? Maybe that is the case. Maybe they are hiding their strats, but... I mean, REY, these specific players, I think, have just done fantastic. I mean, Winch has been by far the MVP of this series, of this map on Bind. This chamber has just been absolutely destructive, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him throw out this chamber again in other maps that maybe you wouldn't even see chamber that often played. You still have some really good maps on this pool for chamber.
Yeah.
Pearl, you've also got Abyss, you've got Haven. A lot of options here where you can still flex that chamber and make it work. So I'm really looking forward to seeing Winch play more because his chamber is just been fantastic.
100%. And I'm looking forward to maybe them making it out of groups. I very heavily imagine they will after the performance they just showed us in their one match that we're going to be seeing from them. But there's still upcoming rounds. We still have much more to show. And in general, here it was Bind. Everyone watching, if any team is watching and Shiba is casting you, make sure it's Bind.
No, don't
sure
do
the map
that.
is Bind.
Don't do that. I don't like Bind. Please don't do it. If anyone has a crystal ball and can somehow pull some voodoo magic and not have us do Bind for the rest of group stage, I would be really, really happy. With that, ladies and gentlemen, let's hope you get that crystal ball rolling because you've not got long until our next game at group stages. We'll see you guys after the break for round 4.